Hi, my name is Kay McDonald with Charity Charms and the Power of Charms podcast and video, and I'm delighted today to have Felicia Taghizadeh with me from Arizona Facial Plastics. Felicia's a friend. I also am a customer of hers, and we're involved in several social things together. So welcome, Felicia.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm especially excited about a new project that we are working on together, and it's called Key to Strength. And Key to Strength is a program to raise awareness and funds for important causes in our community. And what the pillar of Key to Strength is that we engage a corporate sponsor to underwrite the program. So the fund, there's no expense to the charity, and it brings lots of awareness and additional exposure for both entities. I want to hold up what we've done together here. This is our Key to Strength fob. It has your charm. It has the charm from the Sojourner Center, and it has a key. So this is really, really wonderful that Arizona Facial Plastics has decided to underwrite this program. October's Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and so our charity is the Sojourner Center. And I know that domestic violence is near and dear to your heart, and I think it's just such a good fit and so wonderful that you're tying it in with the credo of your company. So I'm going to stop talking. I want you to tell us, Felicia, about you, about Arizona Facial Plastics, and why this is important that you're supporting this cause.
Sure. So first I'll talk about this cause and what we're doing here. That seems like the place to start with everything you just said. With it being Domestic Violence Awareness Month, you were able to find us this great partnership, which is really important to me because I really think that one of the things, there's so much injustice in our society right now, but one of the things we kind of overlook as a society is the status of women and how women really are still marginalized in society, especially with Ruth Bader Ginsburg having just passed. And you look at some of the changes that she was able to help bring around and how recent they were, right? Like a woman being able to have her own mortgage, being able to have her own credit card, like these things. It's only been 60 years that we've been able to do that. And one of the other ways that inequality between women and men plays out in our society is through violence, right? Domestic violence that impacts women and children. And I've always found it really heartbreaking how much it goes on and yet how little attention is paid to that challenge. So we have seen it in our practice. Our business is facial aesthetics, helping people really look and feel their best. And we've had women come in who've said, I was punched and I have this scar here. And even though I'm past that phase in my life, every time I look in the mirror, I'm reminded of that incident. What can you do to help me get rid of it? And those situations, they are challenging because it is a process to help people move past those. And we do our best to help, wipe away those scars. But they're not, it's not always an easy fix, especially if people are coming to us after a couple of years. But it does feel good when women say, I feel so much better because now when I look in the mirror, I'm not constantly reminded of that incident.
Right. Oh my God. Well, I mean, it must make you feel so good that you can have such an impact because it's a physical thing, but they have emotional scars as well. And you have said several times in different ways about the impact of feeling good about yourself and beauty and how it affects your self-esteem. Tell us a little bit more about that. That's just kind of your credo of your whole business. I love it.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, this is kind of a career that I fell into, right? I am a lawyer by training. I have a law degree from Cornell University, and I did practice as a lawyer for a couple of years. And then, so my husband, Dr. Taghizadeh, he went into facial plastic surgery. And at the beginning, I was kind of like, okay, really? That's what we're going to do is help people look prettier? And over the years, I've really been able to get rid of the judgment that I had around that, because what I've seen is how important it is to people's confidence and their overall mental and emotional well-being, that when they look in the mirror, the face they see back really reflects how they feel inside, right? I think it's really disheartening to people when they feel youthful and vibrant and like they've got so many years left, but then they look in the mirror and they see a picture that really doesn't reflect that same vibrancy. And I really don't think, I mean, there is a little bit in our society where we really place a high value on youth, but we don't see it that way. We don't see it as valuing youth. There's so many areas in your life where you take care of yourself, right? You go to the dentist because you want your teeth to last, because you plan to get older and hope to have your teeth, right? You go and you get your blood tested because you want to make sure that your cholesterol levels are right, that you have the right vitamins, because that's an important part of your overall health, so that however long you live, you can be as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
And that's really how in our business, we see facial aesthetics. It's like, hey, you've got this face, you have this skin. What can you do to be an active partner in helping it stay healthy? Because healthy skin is youthful skin.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, I know I come to you for some special things, and you also have your own line of creams and cosmetics as well.
We do. So that is something that I also was a little reluctant to add into the practice, because it's a whole nother level of management, right? From a business standpoint, you have inventory management, you have to carry the costs of the unsold product. You've got to have a sales team who really knows how to integrate the product into the services that the client is giving and really position it as an added value. However, what we saw was that people would go, they would come to the office, they would get a treatment, then they would go home for a couple months, and they would come back and they had a certain level of regression in their skin. Like the treatments weren't as impactful as they could have been. And so we slowly started to add on these super high quality medical grade products that are specially formulated for our practice. And what we've seen is that people's results are now enhanced because they are active partners at home in making sure that they're maintaining their skin. Like when you spend some money on skincare products and then you spend money on lasers for your face, you're going to be more likely to be a little bit more careful when you go out in the sun, right? Like you're going to put that sunscreen on rather than going out in the sun and having the sun damage the work that we've done to get you to a good point.
Well, one thing that I wanted to mention too is right now we're going through this, COVID challenge, and so many businesses are really struggling, but your business and industry seems to be doing well. Tell me about that, and tell me why you think that is.
It's really interesting. We were closed for 5 weeks, along with many businesses in Arizona. And when we reopened, we weren't really sure what to expect. But May was very busy. June was busier. July, as usual in Arizona, slowed down a little bit, but then we picked back up. And last month we had our most new clients ever to the office. Wow. And so I've been really surprised and grateful, because that level of clientele is what allowed me to be in a position to partner with Sojourner Center for this campaign. And what I think is happening is a couple of different things. One, people don't have as many avenues for their expendable income as they used to, right? Like they're not traveling, they're not taking trips, they're maybe not shopping as much, going out as much, because people are staying a little closer to home. So they have a little bit more money to spend. Two, people feel like crap, like it was just a difficult situation to go through, And so they're looking and they're saying, well, what can I do for myself that's going to make me feel a little bit better? And when people come in for treatments and you see that immediate result afterwards, where your skin is glowing, you look youthful, you look refreshed, like you feel good also. And so that's been really helpful to people.
A very needed boost for many.
Exactly. And then the last thing is what you and I were talking about before we started recording. When people are in meetings like this, like I'm trying to look at the camera a lot, but people look at themselves for the whole meeting, right? And what you see when you look at the camera is what other people are seeing on you. Right. And when people are looking at that, they're starting to think, okay, well, what can I do to just enhance my eyes a little bit? Or is there something I can do for my neckline, because it's looking not as great as it could. And so when you take those three things together, we've been doing better than expected. And it's interesting because aesthetics, I was talking with some of the bigger companies last week, aesthetics nationwide is actually down about 8%, but the Phoenix market is up around 1.5%. So when you look at Phoenix compared to the rest of the nation, we're actually trending about 9 to 10% higher than everybody else. Phoenix is a big aesthetics market. It's the third largest aesthetics market in the United States. So we already have a very knowledgeable consumer base. However, we've seen more of a rebound here.
That's interesting. Well, you're doing something very interesting with the Key to Strength program. It's designed to be an awareness and marketing program for both you and for Sojourner Center. But I love the fact that you decided to add an extra offer too. So if somebody is considering maybe a little treat for themselves, if they donate $50 at your office, they get $50 off a treatment of $200 or more?
Yeah, so what it was I wanted to figure out how can we give, sort of a little bit of an extra incentive to clients so that they do make that contribution. That way, we can raise a little bit more money. They can feel good about donating and also not be, just how to make it a win-win. That's really how I look at things for my business and for life in general, is that you should be able to find solutions if you're creative where everybody's benefiting from participating and making the world a better place, right? And so what I was able to do with that is say, okay, if you give $50 to Sojourner, they get the donation. I can go ahead and put a $50 credit on your account, and then I benefit too because you have an extra incentive to come back in. So it really is a way for everybody to get the most out of the partnership that we have with each other.
Yes, and so generous. And then you also are donating a little extra. You're creating your own fund within your office for the next woman that comes in that needs to be fixed. Hopefully no one will, but unfortunately, domestic violence is prevalent in our society. So
we know it's going to happen, and what. One of the challenges, we don't take insurance in our office, which was a conscious decision because the insurance companies are so difficult to deal with. It's something that does cost money. And for women who are coming out of those precarious situations, a lot of times they're leaving some measure of stability and moving into a new phase, right? And they don't always have the funds available to get the stuff done that's needed. And so we're setting up a fund here where we'll be putting, $25 per contribution aside so that when a woman is referred to us by Sojourner who maybe wants to have something, kind of erased on her face, we'll have money to do that with.
Well, you really walk your talk. And I think Arizona Facial Plastics and you, Felicia, are just an exemplary example of a company that has a heart and has social responsibility. I think it's important for businesses to support charities, especially in this enhanced time of need for all. So thanks so much for your time today. I loved hearing more about what you do and want to thank you again for being a sponsor with us. And I look forward to a very enlightening month together supporting the Sojourner Center.
Thank you for coming up with the idea. And I was happy to hear about it, and then even happier when we were able to make the partnership happen.
Well, it's going to be a great one. And if anybody wants to see what's going on, you can go to ArizonaFacialPlastics.com, correct?
I believe we do have, I think we have the link on our website. I think the easiest way to donate is at www.charitycharms.com with the link to donate now at the top there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And do go give yourself a boost. I have. I recommend it. Thanks so much, Felicia. Have a great day.
And this is just a quick thing. There's no pressure, right? The consultation is completely free if you come in, and our main three values are education. We always want you to know what we're doing and why. Fun. We like to have fun with our patients and with the people on my team, and honest communication. Like, we're not going to tell you something's possible that's not possible. Honest communication keeps everybody on the same page. So that's what we really value.
Wow. It shows. It shows in the way that you run your practice. It truly does.